Hello, good morning, and welcome to Holistic Living Made Simple without any fluff. I'm Rita Rozsas, and today we are going to talk about something really exciting, even though it sounds really boring. How conventional living is going to make you ill, make you unwell, make you unfulfilled, and what is actually the solution to that, which is going holistic. But let's just not jump ahead so much. So today, this topic has been one that I have been living in the past 15 years. Actually, in the past 45 years, the first 30 years was just something about this, which is conventional living. Conventional living is what 99% of our people actually live. It's, a, it's about how we normalize living today, and that's something which can actually break you, and the other one is going to fix you. But before we start, I just would like to give you a little bit of a heads up. I have disabled the live chat so I can focus clearly on you. But if you have any questions or any comments, please put it down in the comment box, and after this live I'm going to get back to you. I aim about 30 minutes to cover this topic in that as I want to. So in about 30 minutes, you will know the answer to what to do with your conventional life and how to actually turn it to a much more holistic one. Okay, so let's get started. Conventional living. Conventional living is what we live now here in the 21st century. This is what we normalize as normal life. And as I said before, 99% of people live this way. But there are two problems with this one. One, conventional living is, from this conventional living is going to arise two problems. One is abuse, and the other one is neglect. So conventional living brings you these two very serious topics. So what do I mean? Let me demonstrate it to you. So here are you living your everyday life. And we can categorize our life for three major categories. One can be regarding our body, one about our mind, and the third major category is about food. Because everything what we do can be categorized into one of these: body, mind, or food. So what do I mean? What does conventional living look like when we regard it our body? That means we either abuse it or neglect it. And neglect is actually more major than abusing it. So neglect, what does it mean? We are sitting 8 plus or 12 plus hours a day. We get up from our bed, we go downstairs to sit down to have our breakfast, we get into our car to sit in the office. That is 8 to 10 hours of sitting. Then we come home with our car and just crash down on our sofa. Our body is not designed to be sitting all day long, and that's what we do. And what about using the stairs? That is about another neglect. We neglect to use the stairs because it's way too tiring. We neglect to carry heavy items because it's not convenient or it requires some more energy anymore. So we are actually not moving our body. We are avoiding carrying, we are avoiding walking, we are avoiding exercise just when it's really necessary. We go to the gym because we have to, because we don't want to get really obese or overweight, not because we are doing it for our body. So what about the other side, abuse? When somebody is really obsessed with gym, somebody who doesn't need that kind of push to go to the gym, who is obsessed with doing all of these reps and lifting heavy weights because they have some kind of punishment for their body, for example, to do that, or because they are obsessing over some kind of shape or some kind of body weight. That is the other side for it. Neither one is good for our body. Or what about when we get sick and we are just taking pills without thinking? We are just chucking down everything what we find in our counter, or we go to the store and find that, and we just chucking it down. Or when we avoid knowing our body's signal, and when we get this pain, and until the pain, we were neglecting it. And after we have pain, we are abusing it because we are trying to resolve it as quickly as possible, no matter what kind of harmful consequences it's going to bring. So that is our body, and that is how conventionally 99% of the people treating their body. Let's talk about our mind, because it might not just be about our mind. It's about our emotions, it's about our feelings, it's about how we think, and it's all about mindset, not just a woo-woo kind of, spiritual thing. It's everything which is regarding emotions, everything what we store, everything what we believe, our belief system, and how we grew up and what kind of surroundings we grew up in. Everything is included in our mindset. So again, we are either neglecting it, and that is the most common one. Actually, I see it most often, which means we don't think for ourselves anymore. We let media, we let the news, we let our people, we let the politics, we let the teachers, we let everybody else think for ourselves, but not us. And that is such a neglect. Or if we don't have any kind of goal or aim in our lives, we are just living to the void and doing the same things and having the same day over and over again. Get up, go to work, come home, eat, go to sleep, and that's it. But it doesn't have to be that way. So that is neglecting our mind. What about abusing? What about when we constantly need to be in front of a screen? We constantly need to be watching TV, or I know everybody is talking about social media, but it's so true. If you go to a bigger crowd, if you go to a bus stop, if you go to the mall, what are you going to see? Everybody else is on the phone completely, just scrolling. Or if you have 5 minutes, what do? You get to your phone and you scroll. And that is abusing your mind. Your mind cannot be 24/7 on this constant noise, because it's going to overwhelm you. It's going to tire you down. It is going to actually cause a short fuse. And there is a reason, actually, you are abusing your mind. You cannot just switch on. Why not? Why not? Why do you have to keep doing and keep, just rolling 100% all the time? Why can't you just relax? These are questions for you regarding abusing your mind. And the third category, you might be very similar or with this one, is food. Food is the most common thing which we either neglect or abuse it. Maybe it's emotional eating, maybe it's boredom eating. And I can be a little bit guilty of that one because I love chocolate. And when I'm a little bit bored or when I'm tired, I want to get some chocolate into me. I'm conscious of that one, so I'm changing it, but still. So let's talk about food. How conventional living is actually treating food. You eat whatever you want, whenever you want it. You don't differentiate between food. You don't pay attention to what time is actually you are eating. What do you do in your body? How is it going to affect later on? You are just going to put whatever is in front of you, or go to the store or order food without actually thinking about it. And that's majority of people. I know you might be much better. I know you can be actually not neglecting, because that is complete neglect. You can actually abusing food. What does it mean? Being obsessed about everything. Being obsessed about calories, counting every single little one, counting macros, buying only organic food, and not willing to put everything or anything into your body. You can be overdoing that part as well. neither one is good. Neither abusing it, like eating whatever you want, whenever you want, without any consequences, because this is what I'm craving for, or just abusing it by obsessing over every single detail. And that's actually how majority of people live. So here you go. We pay a little attention to our body, even smaller attention to our mind, a lot of attention to food, what we eat, but not always in the best kind of way. So here is you, actually, here is your body. You are doing it in parts, in separate elements. Because you pay attention to only one thing at a time. You go to gym or you don't. You now eat, but you neglect your mind. When you move your body, you are not going to maybe pay attention to food that much. Or when you just go to sleep, you don't care about your body and food. You do things in a completely separate way. And let me check on my I prepared a lot of notes for you, so I'm not going to forget anything. What do you think this conventional living, this abuse or neglect, this is going to actually lead you? It is going to lead you to be, and I cannot draw at all, not being healthy, not being happy. You won't be able to get fulfilled by doing that, and you will be broke. Conventional living, this kind of separation to your body, mind, and nutrition is going to lead you to illnesses, to being broke, to being not happy, and to being not fulfilled. And when you get to this stage, what do? You actually start to get desperate and desperately looking for solution. But where are you going to look? If you have some kind of illness, you are going to just pay attention to your body, isn't it? If you are broke, then you are going to make your mind work overtime to see what you can do about it. And you are going to do actually some overtime, maybe. If you are unhappy, what are you going to do? You start eating because you need something very nice and sweet just to raise that dopamine in you, just to feel happy for a little bit. So you are looking for solutions in separate ways. And that is what we call fragmentation. Fragmentation. Doing things in separate ways. And when you start doing things like in a hurry, like I don't know what to do, but I have this pain and I want to get rid of it, you start to get jumping from solution to solution. So you will start actually winging it. And here you go. That's how conventional living can break you. Because conventional living is not designed to how you are actually designed. Conventional living is actually leading to either abuse one thing or neglect one thing. And because everything is categorized over 3 categories, which is body, mind, or food, there is always the problem is going to arise from either of these. Because you treat your body separately, then you are desperately looking for solutions, which means you are going to winging it. Oh, I heard this expert talking, so I'm going to try that one. Oh, now fasting is a big deal. Now I need to lose weight, so I'm going to try that. Oh, there is a new kind of diet out there. I'm going to try that. Now let's just maybe visualize myself to be a little bit more healthy or just to calm down. And that's what fragmentation is. And fragmentation is the root cause of being ill, unhappy, unfulfilled, or being broke. There is no judgment here. I lived my first 30 years like this because I didn't know better. In my first 30 years, I was moving my body whenever I felt for it. not because I had any kind of plan, because that was you are supposed to be doing. In the first 30 years, I was eating whatever my Hungarian heritage actually taught me what to eat, which is, just in brackets, still much better than the Western type of eating, eating late and eating nothing in the morning. But that's a completely different story. And what about mindset? That is the most major part that people actually ignore, because our mind is just, it's so easy to not use it. It's so easy to actually just winging it, just to live into the day and just to lean wherever the wind is actually blowing. So whatever the government says, whatever the news says, whatever this guru says, it's so easy to not use our mind. So what did this lead me to? When I was 30, and let me share my story with you just very quickly. When I was 30, I saw someone dying next to me. So he dropped dead in the gym. This was such a big trauma for me that 2 days later, I started to have panic attacks, anxiety spells, heart palpitations, all of these very, very nasty physical symptoms. Obviously, I didn't like that because I was fairly healthy beforehand. So I went to the doctors and they did all of these tests. They sent me to the hospital to have this EKG done. I had this 24-hour monitor on me. And then 9 months later, they said, I'm completely healthy. I didn't even get any pill or anything. They just said, I need to start learning to live with it. And I wasn't willing to do that. So I thanked Western medicine for their help. I knew I was healthy organ-wise, but I knew I wasn't healthy at all. That's how I started to look for solutions, because I wanted to solve my life and my life's problem. And I would like to stop here for 1 second. So there are two kinds of people, if we know this. One person or one type of people want to solve their problems because they have some kind of issue and they want to solve it. Like, I didn't find my husband until I was 30. I couldn't get pregnant for 6 years, even though we were trying. Then once I got my son, I couldn't lose my excess weight. So I had all of these kind of problems. I wanted to run my own business, to teach you all of this, and I failed 3 times, but this is what I wanted to do. So I wanted to solve my problems. And once I discovered this side, I was able to solve all of these physical type of problems. Then there are the second type of people who have actually pretty good life, but they want to live in their personal heaven. When they want to live the best life possible, the fulfilling life. Because once you have health, happiness, wellness, and then fulfillment is the next logical step. So they might not have any kind of physical issue, but they want just to live the best life possible. And there is only one way that you can do both. And as you can see, there is a clear-cut difference between conventional living and holistic living, and there is a little bit of a door to do that. And the only way how you can go from conventional to holistic is by this, which is what I'm going to share with you. I didn't know any of this. It took me 15 years to get from here to actually here, to my own personal haven. And let's now get to the other side. So what does holistic mean? Holistic is not a fluffy buzzword. It's not like something spiritual or just crystals and herbs and I don't even know. Holistic means a whole of you. It's called entire. That's your whole life, everything included. That's why I put holistic in there, which actually means holistic. Holistic means your entirety, every single part of you. And if you have abuse and neglect there, when you live conventionally, you actually have balance over here. because that is the best life possible. So let's see. And now let me share with you the most important concept what you can ever learn. So here is what conventional living would give you. Here is you, and you are trying all of these separate parts. And when you start living holistically, you have something beautiful. It's called the triangle of life. And you are in the middle. Because let me tell you something, this is the most important sentence you can ever learn. Who are you? Who are you really? You live in a physical body, governed, led by your mind, supported by good nutrition and good information. This is who you really are. You are all of it, not just one part of it. So if you use this separately, and you have to realize you are all of it. You are a body and mind and nutrition all the time at the same time. You cannot separate your parts, because if you separate your parts, you are living in fragmentation, and fragmentation always leads to some kind of problems. But when you start reconnecting it instead of winging it, you are not going to be desperate, you are going to be conscious. It's not a desperate living, it's conscious living. And except of winging it, you are going to start realizing that the only way around this one, the only way out of this, is by reconnecting your body, mind, and nutrition into one holistic system, because that's who you are. That's who you are. You live in a physical body. You have to use it. You have to move it, but you must not abuse it. You led, you govern by your mind. You have to feed it with positive ideas, with goals, with aims, with something what you are shooting for. Otherwise, you are just like a boat on a sea. You are just going to be drifting apart. There is no real aim if you are just drifting. And that's not how we are designed. We must have something what we are shooting for, we are aiming for, we are living for. You can call it your purpose. It doesn't matter what it is. Maybe just to make the best possible life for your child. Maybe it's something what you want to fulfill yourself with. Let's just put your mind at work. Do not let circumstances make you to drift from one way to another. You have to start thinking for yourself, and you have to start believing in yourself that you can actually do it. And what about now? I don't call it food, I call it nutrition, because there is a huge difference between food and nutrition. Nutrition is real food. That's how you actually feed your organs, feed your system, feed your body, and feed your mind. And feed your mind with good information instead of just consuming all of this scheiße which is poured onto you daily. And that's how you are supposed to be living, because we are not just body and that's it. Those are zombies. We are not just mind, because we are not just, in floating spirits, and we are not just food. We are not. We are all of these. We are body and mind and nutrition reconnected. They influence each other all the time. If you eat something bad, it is going to show up in your body because you have diarrhea or constipation, and in your mind because you have brain fog as well. If you feel negative, if you feel pessimistic, your body is going to feel sluggish, as well as you are not going to feel for any real food. They always influence each other because you are all of it, not just one part of it. And you need to reconnect them into one gorgeous system. So instead of fragmentation now, you live in integration. And integration is a gorgeous, gorgeous way to live. That's how you become happy, healthy, fulfilled, and that's how you get uh, your money and all of this wealth stuff as well, wealthy as well. Now, do you understand the difference? Conventional living leads you to fragmentation. Holistic living, true balance, because as you can see, all of these three areas are in the same. We are not abusing or neglecting any part. We are paying attention to our body as much as for our mind, as much as to our nutrition. This is an equilateral triangle, not having gaps in here, having all of these gaps in here. Now we have reconnected our life into one holistic one, and that is holistic living in actual work. I know it took me, this part took me 15 years to actually get it. And now I want to save you from these 15 years because there is a much better option to do that. I have created a program called Reconnected. And you have two options. You always have two options. Option number one is forget everything what I've just said. You can go back to this one and you might be able to get away with it until symptoms show up or as something just breaks down. Or you can start choosing to live holistically. If you don't know where to start, I can show it to you because I lived it through myself. I found the solution. I solved it. It took me 15 years, but I can help you solve it in 3 hours. What about that? In 3 hours, it's called Reconnected Intensive. I myself is going to make an audit of your life with your help, obviously. Then we are going to create a plan how we can reconnect your body, mind, and nutrition into one. Because once you reconnect them, that's when life starts to feel like how it's supposed to be. That's how you solve all of your problems. Or if you don't have any problems, that's how you get to your own personal haven. That is holistic living in practice. So I created this program called Reconnected, and it is a 6-week program. That is your second choice. If you don't want to compress it into 3 hours, in 6 weeks, you can get from here to here. 10 minutes daily. I created a lot of videos and I lead you through every single one of them. I hold your hand and tell you exactly what to do with the body, your mind, and your nutrition. It's like 3 in 1. It's how you get from this life to life 2.0. It's a life upgrade. Or if you don't have any problems, that's how you get to your own personal haven, as I call it. I will put the link down there into the comment as well, and you can go and check out. And if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to help you and answer that. So this is what I wanted to share with you today, and it's almost my 30-minute is up. So what do you think? What do you think of this? This is conventional living, how 99% and especially in the Western culture live, treating their body and mind and nutrition as separate elements. Although we are not, we are this one whole system. We are body and mind and nutrition all the time, every single time. You cannot separate them, because if you separate them, some kind of problems are going to show up. Then you become desperate to solve them. Then you are just going to be winging it by just, jumping from one solution to another one, to actually putting fires out. That is fragmentation. Fragmentation is never ever going to solve your problem permanently. Temporary might, but permanently not. The solution is to go holistic, to balance it out, to have a conscious living, to realize that your body, mind, and nutrition all the time, and they influence each other. That is conscious living. You consciously design your life around these 3 major elements. And I can help you that. I can help you with this integration. I know where you are coming from. I lived it through myself. And through integration, I got pregnant naturally, and my son is perfectly fine after 6 years of trying. My husband has some blood in his stool. We got rid of them. My son had eczema in it was all over his body. It was terrible. By just going holistic, we got rid of that as well. Now I'm running my own business finally, and finally this is successful. All thanks to this one. Nothing else changed, but I just applied this into my life. That's how I met my husband. That's how I got rid of my panic attacks, my anxiety, and everything. That's how I went from here, because I had every single one of these issues, to actually here. And this is amazing. And the only thing that could solve it and change it is by going holistic. If you would like to have my help to doing so, and if you want to do it in just one afternoon, because that's the quickest and fastest and the most productive way to do that, to go from here to here, I can help you with that. It's called Reconnected Intensive, and the link is down there. If you want to have in longer terms, that I have created a DIY course. It's called Reconnected as well. And within 6 weeks, I show you exactly what to do and how you reconnect them. But then you can do it on your own pace. I thank you very much for your attention. If you have any questions or comments, please put it down in the comment. And I see you in a month.